This is one of my favorite early 2000s horror movies. So, House of Wax starts off in 1974 with a family that is like clearly kind of fucked up. And we see that they have two twins and they're strapping one of them into a high chair with like leather straps and duct tape. It's fucked up and he's like kicking and screaming. The mother eventually slaps him and then the titles roll. Now we jump ahead to present day and meet our main group. So we have Carly, we have Carly's twin brother, Nick, who's played by Chad Michael Murray, who's just super fucking hot in this movie. We have Wade, who's Carly's boyfriend, aka Jared Padalecki, if you're a Supernatural fan like I am. We have Carly's best friend, Paige, aka Paris Hilton. We got Paige's boyfriend, Blake, and everyone's friend, Dalton. And we learn that they're traveling together to go see like this big ass football game. But it's getting late on their road trip and they're like, okay, you know what? We have some time, so why don't we just camp out tonight and we'll drive tomorrow. So they're having fun on their camp out, they're playing football, they're drinking, stuff like that. And throughout this whole thing, Dalton's like walking around with a video camera. It's super like fucking sentimental. And then a random pickup truck shows up and like when they all try and ask like, oh hey, can we help you? The driver doesn't answer. So Nick, being like the bad boy of the group, throws a beer bottle at the truck, which shatters one of its headlights. But this works and the truck leaves. Later that night, when they're all asleep, we see someone filming the group with Dalton's camera, but it's not Dalton because Dalton's asleep in one of the tents. And Carly wakes up because she hears a noise, but there's no one there. So the next day, the group wakes up and Dalton can't find his camera, so he's looking for that. Meanwhile, Wade has discovered that his fan belt has been severed, so he's just pissed about that at this point. Meanwhile, Paige and Carly are in the woods and they accidentally discover this like big ass pit filled with roadkill. It's disgusting as fuck. And then this like weird ass guy shows up and he's like, oh yeah, I just like dumped my roadkill in here, it's no big deal. He overhears Wade talking about the fan belt and he's like, you know what, if you want, I can drive you into like this nearby town and you can get a fan belt there. And Wade and Carly just like get in the fucking car with the stranger. Eventually they get super creeped out by this guy, so they're like, okay, you know what, we're just gonna walk the rest of the way, so he does let them out of the car. And Wade and Carly accidentally interrupt this funeral service, but they do meet a guy named Bo who runs like the local gas station. And Bo tells them, it's like, okay, you know what, this funeral will be done soon, and then I can get your fan belts, so I want you to spend some time in the town until then. So Wade and Carly are like exploring the town, and they find this wax museum that they kind of just go inside and start checking it out. However, the wax museum creeps them out, so they go back to the gas station where they meet Bo again. He says that, yo, I don't have the right size fan belt that you need, but I have one up at the house, so just like come up to my house with me. And they just go, again, with the stranger. And once they get to the house, Carly gets in Bo's truck because Bo offered to give him a ride back, like halfway. And Wade goes into the house to use the bathroom. And after Wade comes out of the bathroom, he discovers like this creepy old room in the house and he just like starts looking around in there. And then this creepy dude comes up out of a trap door, cuts Wade's Achilles tendons and attacks him. Meanwhile, Carly gets out of the truck to go look for Wade, and she turns around and sees that one of the trucks has a broken headlight, which of course means that Bo was the one stalking them the night before. Meanwhile, Bo gets wind of what's going on, so he chases Carly into the church that he was in earlier. And this is when Carly discovers that the whole fucking town is made of wax. And to top that off, each person under each wax figure is actually a fucking corpse. Meanwhile, we see Nick and Dalton go into town to pick up Wade and Carly. Meanwhile, we see this creepy guy here start to cover Wade in wax. And we're like, oh my god, he is turning Wade into one of those wax figures. It's a horrible scene to watch. All of this is going on, Carly is captured by Bo, and he traps her in the gas station basement. While this is going on, we see Nick and Dalton come into town and start looking for Wade and Carly because they can't find them. Bo hears Nick and Dalton overhead, like outside the gas station, so he straps Carly to a chair and waxes her mouth shut so she can't call for help. And then he goes up to meet Nick and pretends that he has no idea what he's talking about when Nick's like, where's my sister and her boyfriend? Carly, meanwhile, is struggling so much that she fucking breaks the chair that she's in, and then proceeds to rip her lips open so she can scream for Nick. Nick hears Carly just as Bo attacks him, so Nick attacks Bo and is able to run to the gas station and lock him out. Chad Michael Murray with this look just gets my heart going, y'all. Anyway, Nick goes down to the basement where he finds Carly and helps her while she tells him that the whole town is dead and turned into wax figures. Meanwhile, Dalton goes into the House of Wax and he fucking finds Wade, who is now a wax figure, but Wade is still alive because apparently what they do is they wait for people to die under the hot wax. It's so fucking sad. While Dalton is unsuccessfully trying to free Wade, Vincent here shows up, attacks Dalton, and decapitates him. Meanwhile, Paige and Blake are messing around at the campsite when they are confronted by Vincent. And Vincent kills Blake by stabbing him in the neck. A chase scene ensues between Vincent and Paige, but ultimately Vincent is able to kill Paige by impaling her with a metal pipe through her forehead. Meanwhile, Nick and Carly are still running from Bo, so Nick goes into a store where he steals a fucking crossbow, so now they're armed. Bo chases Nick and Carly into a movie theater where he finds Carly, who's posing as like a wax figure in the audience. But before he can shoot Carly with the gun that he has, Nick shoots Bo twice with a crossbow. Now Nick and Carly run and hide in the house. And Carly finds these newspaper clippings and these photos, and she realizes that Bo and Vincent are the twins that we saw in the beginning scene. And the reason that Vincent wears this like wax mask here is because they were actually conjoined twins. And when they were born, Vincent's face was attached to the back of Bo's head. And then of course Bo and Vincent come home. So Nick and Carly go down through that trap door that Vincent had come up earlier to attack Wade. And there they find Vincent's workshop, which includes Dalton's dead body covered in wax. Vincent shows up and tries to attack them, but Nick sets a fire, which ultimately traps him. Nick and Carly keep running and end up in the House of Wax, which is right above Vincent's workshop. And I say this because everything in the House of Wax is made of wax, including the walls and the floors. Now Bo shows up and attacks Nick and a fight ensues. And Bo eventually stabs Nick in the leg with a knife. And Carly's like, you fucker, and she beats Bo to death with a baseball bat. Unlucky for her, Vincent shows up as this is happening and witnesses it. So he gets pissed and chases Carly up the wax stairs. Nick gets up and tries to follow them up the stairs, but he keeps getting stuck because the whole place is melting rapidly. And Vincent chases Carly into a bedroom where she tries to reason with him. Because it turns out Bo manipulated Vincent into using real corpses as the wax figures, while Vincent just wanted to make regular wax figures because that's what their mom did. So Carly's trying to reason with him, but Vincent is not hearing it. And even though he's in pain, Nick comes up the stairs and attacks Vincent. A fight ensues between the two, but Carly is able to yank the knife out of Nick's leg and stab Vincent with it, and he dies. Vincent then falls through the melting floor and lands right on top of Bo's body. And he lands so that his face is on the back of Bo's head. It's very poetic. Nick and Carly now realize that they have no other options for an exit but to dig their way through the melting walls of the House of Wax, and it works. And then we cut and we see that the first responders have arrived and Carly and Nick are sitting in the back of an ambulance. And when the cops are bringing out evidence, we see that they have Dalton's camera because Vincent had been using that to film them sleeping and also had filmed Paige after he killed her. And Nick is able to sneakily swipe the camera from the cops because there's a lot of memories on there and he doesn't want to give it up. Honestly, you guys, I would do the fucking same thing. And right before the ambulance drives away, we hear a cop's radio come on and says that, yo, Trudy, the mom, didn't have 2 sons, she had 3. And Carly looks up to see this guy wave at her as they drive out of town. Fun fact, this guy here is literally just billed as Roadkill Guy in the credits, which I find fucking hilarious. And that is House of Wax, my friends. I fucking love this movie, and I actually have some props to give out to the actors. So apparently before her chase scene, Paris Hilton would run up and down the stairs to get that sweaty, disheveled look, and like props to her because stairs ain't fucking easy, my friends. I hate stairs and I work out every day. Alicia Cuthbert apparently insisted on using real wax when she did like that whole lip fucking thing, which is just insane to me. I don't know if that was like, if they really did that or not, but props to her. And Chad Michael Murray fucking hated that last scene apparently because the peanut butter they were using in place of like the wax melting was getting in his eyes in that last scene, but he just powered through it, so props to him as well. Alright, you all know the drill at this point. Drop a like and a comment on what horror movie you want me to do next.